Ensure the bike is powered off. Use a 2.5mm hex wrench to remove each of the 3 controller mounting bolts. Lift the controller out of the frame to access the cable connections. Use a 2.5mm hex wrench to remove the 2 battery mounting bolts. Locate the cable connections coming off the battery. Disconnect the blue cable connection as well as the yellow plug by carefully pulling the 2 plug ends apart. Remove the battery. Use a brake hose cutting tool to trim the rear brake hose 10 to 15 millimeters from the end of the brake lever. Insert a plug into the end of the brake hose. Use a 3mm hex wrench to loosen the right grip clamping bolt. Remove the grip. Use a 5mm hex wrench to loosen the rear brake lever clamping bolt. Remove the brake lever. Use a 4mm hex wrench to loosen the stem cap preload bolt and then loosen both of the stem clamping bolts until the stem can be released. Remove the stem and headset spacers. Follow up by removing the headset dust cover and the compression ring. Separate the rear brake hose from the cable guides and then lift the fork out of the frame. Use a 5mm hex wrench to remove the 2 rear brake caliper bolts. Remove the caliper and then guide the brake hose out of the frame. Swap the rear brake assembly. Feed the new brake hose into the left chainstay, into the battery compartment cable channel, and out of the head tube. Reinstall the rear caliper to the frame using a 5mm hex wrench. Do not tighten the bolts fully yet. Reinstall the fork into the head tube, ensuring the lower headset bearing is still in place. Replace the headset bearing and the compression ring while feeding the brake hose into the bearing and cable guides. Install the dust cover onto the steer tube. While keeping the cables oriented forward, press the dust cover flush against the head tube of the bike. Guide the headset spacers along with the stem back onto the steerer tube and use a 4mm hex wrench to thread on the stem compression bolt. Continue to tighten the bolt until the stem is fully seated. Feed the excess cables into the headset. Reinstall the rear brake lever and right side grip onto the handlebar. Use a 3mm hex wrench to tighten the grip clamping bolt enough to prevent the grip from rotating. Secure the rear brake lever in place using a 5mm hex wrench to tighten the lever clamping bolt. Remove the brake lever end cap by unthreading it counterclockwise. Take the brake hose and install the rubber grommet and compression bolt. Remove the hose plug using a 2mm hex wrench. Lastly, install the brass olive over the end of the brake hose. Carefully insert the brake hose into the lever while retaining the olive on the end of the hose. While keeping the hose in place, thread in the compression bolt. Tighten until snug with an 8mm open-end wrench. Do not over-tighten. Replace the hose grommet. Tighten the 2 caliper bolts while keeping the rotor centered between the brake pads. Torque the 2 bolts to 9 to 12 Newton meters. Slide the battery back into the frame, ensuring the bolt holes and charging port on the battery align with the holes in the frame. Reinstall the 2 battery mounting bolts using a 2.5mm hex wrench. Reconnect the yellow battery plug and then reconnect the round blue plug by aligning the arrows and firmly pressing the connection together. Guide the cables and the controller back into the frame. Reinstall the 3 controller mounting bolts using a 2.5mm hex wrench. Snug the headset preload bolt enough that the headset is properly preloaded while still allowing unrestricted movement in the steering. Torque to no more than 5 to 7 Newton meters. Align the handlebars with the front wheel and then use a 4mm hex wrench to tighten the stem clamping bolts and alternate between the two while torquing them to 6 Nm. Position the rear brake lever to the desired angle. Use a 5mm hex wrench to tighten the lever clamping bolt. Torque to 6 to 8 Nm. Power on the bike to test for proper operation. Ensure the brake is properly bled before the first ride.